AB, what's good?
What's poppin'?
Nothing much, man. We were just talking about you. First, before you say a word, let me set the tone and introduce you once again, bruh. Adrien the Problem Broner is on Wyatt Live right now. Four-time world champion in four different weight classes. Has that ever even been done before? If so, it's very seldom that something like that happens, brother. And I want to thank you for being on the show, man. I appreciate you, young brother. You a man of your word.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, you know I'll be tripping.
I know you don't. I know you don't. A lot of people think you do though, AB, but they don't really understand. They don't know. They don't know what you do behind the scenes for the young people in boxing. They don't know what you do um, for other businesses that are trying to help young up and coming fighters.
Right.
So let me ask you this, man. How old were you when you got your first world title?
I think 20, 21, 20 or 21.
21 years old.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So listen, I know you can't. I don't know if you can go back to that feeling or not. But to be 21 years old and to grow up on like you said, cornflakes and water. By that
Yeah,
time,
of
you're
course.
21 years old and you're already hitting M's, right? You're already a millionaire.
Mm. Yeah.
Now, how do you go from eating cereal and water to becoming a millionaire at 21 years old? Can you remember the first thing you bought?
Man, I never started spending money until after Polly, the Polly fight,
One
and
of
I
my
and
favorite.
I and I realized how much money I had saved up because I never looked at my check. Like for me, but I tell all the young guys, I tell them all like forget the money, just get the win because that's how I always looked at it. So when I get my check, I'll just give it to my mom, and I sometimes I never look at it. So when I finally looked, like God damn, I got all this money saved up. I I
No,
gave my mom.
I know exactly what you're saying because I know how Miss Dorothy is. You were doing that. I know for a fact you were doing that.
So I gave my mom some money, and I went to Miami with like 15 people, and I blew a million.
Wow,
I blew
wow.
I, I blew a million,
Your close
and then
homies, little
yeah,
guys, little G's that you grew up with, little bruh
little
now.
yeah, Lil G, B Luck, Fogel, 6-4, all of us, man. It was a lot of us.
I understand. I mean, you know, when you got it like that, you do it. I mean, I ain't trying to put any other names in it, but I heard other stars that did it in my generation. I mean, Will Smith, I know he's a big name right now that's being talked about this entanglement bullshit, but
Yeah.
he did it too, bruh. He did the same thing when he was growing up. He went and blew $1 million, and I don't remember what city it was. I think it was Vegas. He did it with his group of friends. And years
Hmm.
later, he had talked about, you know, I wish I wouldn't have done that, but he got back on track and he got shit right. But
Hmm.
look, it's been a pleasure watching you in your career. One thing people can say is that you're very entertaining. Okay, when it comes to being in the ring and being out of the ring. But what I would have to say with the entertainment is you back it up. I mean, your best years in your profession have been at the lower weight classes, to be honest with you, like at that 130, 135. That's when you was really hitting shit. And
Hmm.
my question, you know, you won that WBO junior lightweight in
Hmm.
2011, 2012ish. All right. And then you start gradually going up, man, in weight classes. And I don't know if it was because it was your choice. Was those more like your choices of moving up, or was you chasing the money or chasing the legacy? What was you
No,
doing when you was moving
I
up?
I just I just know I can beat those guys. I'm not a. If everybody know, I'm really not a welterweight at all. I'm a
Yeah.
natural lightweight, and and if I come back and fight 35, I'll destroy the weight class, and because I can still make the weight, honestly.
I was gonna ask you, can you make 135?
Yeah, I can still make the weight.
Let me tell
I
you what
have
I
to
seen.
I will have to sacrifice, but I
Yeah.
can make it though.
But that's part of the game, right? Sacrifice is one of the number one things of the boxing world, of the boxing game. sacrifice it.
Yeah.
Let me just say this to you, speaking of 135. When you fought Mikey Garcia, I remember we was out in Colorado at camp,
Mhm.
and I remember Mike Stafford was talking a lot of shit about that weight thing because they was trying to penalize you for if you came in, they was gonna try to fine you $1 million a pound or some old dumb shit. You know what I mean? Some
Yeah.
old dumb ass contract shit. So Mike
Yeah.
Stafford took that personal. So I
Mhm.
remember him talking a lot of shit. I even got it on film. I just never released it. I have it on film. We was in the gym. You was working out. You worked hard in that camp, little bro. You really did. And
Mhm.
you even made below the weight. I think that weight wasn't you supposed to be at 135 or something like that. That was a 135 fight, the Mikey Garcia fight. Let me
No,
make
I thought
sure.
we.
It was
Nah, we fought at
140. It was
140. Yeah.
140. My fault. It was
Mhm.
140. But Mike Stafford was saying because you came in right under 140, from my understanding, and Mike
Yeah,
Stafford
it
was
came in like
hollering.
138.
Yeah, Mike Stafford was like, we could have got 135 if they wanted to. We could have did 135. I watched you work hard in that camp, bro. I did. And you probably could have
Mhm.
made 135, but in that fight, you went down in weight real fast, I thought, and maybe that had a
Mhm.
little bit to do with it. I don't think that Mikey outboxed you, anything like that. I just think that it got to a point where it was like, he felt a little bit more comfortable at that weight where you had been fighting bigger fighters at that time and you
Mhm.
came down. Now, I'm nowhere near as at breadth of boxing as you are, and I'm not trying to make
Mhm.
up an excuse for you, little bro. I just
Mhm.
give you my perspective of what I seen. That was a good
Right.
fight. Personally, well, a few people in my circle know I had 5,000 on you in that fight, and I
Mhm.
let you know it, and you were like, "Don't worry about it, Wyatt, man. Don't worry about it. Your money well spent." But I had so much love for you that it didn't matter. I was more wanting you to win than my bet coming
Right.
across. You understand? So I've always been there for you, little bro, and I think you know that. I think you know. We've been places together. You've always looked out for me. You've always looked out for everybody you've been around. And
Mhm.
a lot of people don't know the genuine heart that you really have. I mean, they only see what's in the media. They don't know who you really are and the things that you really do. But one question I gotta ask you, Adrien, is the can man coming back? Is the problem coming back? Is he coming back in music or is he coming back in boxing? What we doing?
Man, first I'm about to drop my album for sure. Still adjusting to
Okay.
fame. Then, uh, man, they gotta they gotta get my money right. You gotta think. I did everything for them. I did. I did everything for them. I never
When you
said
say
no.
them, who is them? Who is them, Adrien?
Al Heyman and Steven
Showtime.
Espinosa.
You are Mr. Showtime. They
Yeah.
don't want to say that shit. So you haven't had an interview in a while by choice. People breaking you down and trying to get to you and trying
Yeah.
to get you to talk about this shit. They want to hear about what you feel about fighting again and what's up with the 10 mil. Now it's about to get to the point where we gonna get down and dirty on this shit. As we got disconnected that one time,
Right.
you said you've done everything they asked you to do. Now I remember,
Yeah.
little bro, when you used to let the fans pick your fight. So when you say you've done
Mhm.
everything they asked you to do, you're meaning the fans and the people behind the scenes. Is that what you're talking about? As far as you've done everything they asked you to do, who you referring to when you say that?
Everybody, everybody. I mean, with the fans, you really, I really don't be minding about the fans because you can't. They're never
Mm.
satisfied. They're never satisfied. So when I say I've done everything they wanted me to do, I mean business wise with Al Heyman and Steven Espinoza.
Showtime and them
So
guys.
that's exactly that's who I'm talking about, and they know, and they
I
know,
know.
but but they got to come correct, and they are me and Al, we talk every day, and after I put out this album, I'll be back.
So you coming out of retirement, AB? You making that announcement right now? You're not giving us a date of retirement or coming back, but you're saying that you're gonna fight again. But it's got to
Yeah,
be for that 10 mil.
yeah, they gotta
Let
pay
me
me.
ask you this, little bro, because
They
I'm
gotta
with you
pay
on
me.
that. We only get one life. We only get one life to live. And one time, you done been through some shit. Can we keep it? Can we keep it
Yeah.
gutter one time? Can we go there? You done been through
Yeah.
some shit, and
Yeah.
I've been a phone call away, little bro. You know that. You know it. So I remember one situation. I don't remember exactly specifically what it was. It doesn't matter. It's been a few, but I,
Mm-hmm.
I reached out. We had a conversation on the phone. I said, "Where you at?" Now I'm in Cincinnati. I said, "Where you at?" You said, "I'm in Miami." I said, "All right, bet I'm on my way." No, why? No, no, no. I'm gonna be in Atlanta tomorrow. All right, bet I'm on my way. So we sat down. I flew down to Atlanta. We sat down at the table. I don't know if you remember that, but I came down. We had a
Mm-hmm.
conversation, and you said, "Wyatt, man, I got this. I got this boxing shit. I got it. It's the music thing that we gonna get cranking." And I said, "Okay, that's fine. I love that. But I'm ready for you to continue your career in boxing, and I'm ready for you to keep going and keep going and keep going and pushing and pushing and pushing. And you're a first ballot Hall of Famer with the 4 world championships, 4 belts in 4 different weight classes.
Mm-hmm.
What more do you have to prove? Are you going for legacy? You fighting for that check now? What is it? Is it just the motherfuckers at that
It's
the weight class
it's
can't fuck with you? What
it's
is it?
at this point it's my legacy, man, and I just feel like I'll become world champion again, multiple
What
times,
weight? What weight?
and 140, 135 is if it's the right opponent. I'm not fighting 135 for nothing, but I think my next fight will be at 140.
140, you think? Let me ask you, bro. I gotta ask you,
Yeah,
who there at 140? Who there at 140 that would even make it interesting?
me.
No, we know that. I'm talking about opposition. Who do you have down there at 140 that you feel that can come to your level and y'all can make it a big production, a big situation? What's there?
Let me tell you something, man. My fans, they just want to see me win. It don't matter at this point. It don't matter who I fight. Wyatt, I can fight my assistant Fogel, and
They
it's
coming, huh?
still it's gonna fucking they gonna
They
come see
coming.
me,
I understand.
and they don't care. They don't care if I knock him out in the first round. They just want to see AB win.
Right. You
That's
know what,
all.
man? Believe it or not, motherfuckers might say some shit about you, bro, but they know they tune in. They know they tune in to see you win. We in a world of they root for success, cheer for failure. We just live in that type of world. And the truth of the matter is, man, the boxing game is tough on black fighters anyway. If you was of another race,
Yeah.
my God, they'd have statues of you in several cities.
I'll be a
Exactly.
billionaire.
You know,
The problem is coming back.
well, the problem we have right now
We
is
gonna we
getting
gonna
that motherfucking
when
10 million.
once
You understand? We got to get that lined up.
that ain't no. That's not a problem. That's not a
All
problem.
right.
That's not a problem. We gonna
All
get
right.
that. We gonna
What
get that.
about some names, man, that's going out there, that red cash motherfucker? What about him? Would he be the ideal person to line up at 140? Can he fight 140? Can y'all get that jumping at 140?
He he just might talk his way up to an ass
Yeah.
whooping. He, but I got several names in front of me right now. I got several names in front of me right now. He's definitely one
Hmm.
though.
Okay. You feel like giving those names, or you keeping them to yourself?
Yeah, I gotta I
How
gotta
many?
keep
How
that under
many
the
of them?
hat.
How many names you got? Six, 5 or 6 names.
Yeah, I got like 5 names, but Red Cash is one of
All
them.
right, see, I gave you that name. You already had it, but I exposed that name. So you got to give us one name. One name, bro. If it ain't,
Nah,
can we get one?
nah,
Nah. Okay.
nah.
Well, I got another name. What about a rematch with Sean Porter?
Uh, he wouldn't be able to make the weight.
Oh, that's
I'm
right.
from when
Sean
I
can't
come
come
back
down to
when I
140. That's dumb as hell for me to say that.
yeah
You know who I would love?
when I come back, I'm not fighting
I got
welterweight.
you. He barely making 147 right now. You're right. I'm sorry. He came in a little overweight. I think at the fight before Earl Spence, I think it was. I think he had to cut his hair or some shit like that to make the weight. But I got love for Sean. We all Ohio guys, man, and I know y'all knew each other from the amateurs and all that. I was shocked when that fight came about. And to be honest with you, Adrien, man, I was disappointed. That was a fight you should have won. I'm just being honest
Yeah.
with you, bro. I don't know why you fuck around, but you do sometimes. And I don't know if you was just feeling your way through it or what you was doing, but it seemed like you had something on your mind. I'm not giving you an out. I'm not giving you an excuse. But Sean had never really been put on his butt, and I think you put him down like in the late rounds of that fight. And I thought you was gonna pull that one out, little bro. But much respect to your record, 33-4-1. Listen, a lot of people think that everybody's going to be Floyd, and we all know at a certain point things are structured a certain way for certain fighters. You have always, your last four fights, or the fights that you've been involved in, have all been, I mean, A-plus fighters. If anybody can
Oh
dispute
yeah, for
that,
sure.
they don't know boxing. If you think Sean Porter is easy work, they don't know boxing. If you think Mikey Garcia is easy work, they don't know boxing. And if you think Madonna is easy work, they don't know boxing. Madonna was my favorite fight of you. It was an L, but that's when you showed what a
Yeah.
problem you really are.
That was the funnest fight I ever had.
Really.
It was the most.
Street
Yeah,
fight it
yeah,
was.
yeah. It was fun.
It looked like a street fight.
That shit was
But let
fun.
me ask you, how was it fighting Pac-Man?
Uh, I mean, that was fun too, but he's good. He good.
Yeah, he is.
I could have beat
Huh?
him though.
I didn't hear you.
I could have beat him.
Yeah. You know what? The first three rounds, I said, this is easy work for Adrien. We was there. I sit there and watch you. I said the timing is there. I don't know if Pac-Man, I don't know if he made some adjustments that kind of threw you off a little bit. I don't know. But that first three rounds, Adrien, your counters was on point. I don't think Pac-Man knew you had that type of hand speed. I don't think he knew your footwork was what it was, because every time he came in, you touched him. And that right there was impressive.
Hmm.
I don't know what he did. Go ahead.
A lot of people don't know I tore his retina.
Yeah, you almost ended him. That could be an ending
Yeah,
injury.
I know.
Well, listen, man. I know you got four losses, but let's look back and say these aren't like bums. You're beating guys that are on world championship levels. And if I could have go ahead.
Man, see, what's going on in boxing right now? This was going on. Everybody, everybody's just looking at Floyd. We in an era where everybody's looking at Floyd and like, okay, if you're not undefeated, then you just not good, or you're not one of the best. But they say Muhammad Ali is the greatest ever,
Right,
right? And what's Muhammad
right.
Ali
He got
record?
losses. Don't he have how many losses he have? Six or some shit like that. He had he
Yeah, he got like
Yeah,
6 or 7
yeah.
losses. So, so what I'm saying is, I say that to say this: like African Americans, they they don't back they don't back us like the Mexicans or the Russians, or because look at Amir Khan. Amir Khan will go out there and get knocked
Mm.
slap out in his next fight. They still praise him and they still cheer for him, and they behind
Yeah.
him.
So does Manny Pacquiao.
But
Shit.
once we want that, Manny Pacquiao got about how many
Almost
losses he
double
got?
digits. He getting up there. He getting up there.
So, 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 so I'm saying like a black guy or African American fight and lose one time, and they just be like, oh, I knew it. He a bum. He a bum.
And that's not right. Because if you look at other sports like MMA, those guys are 26-4-2. You know what I mean?
And they praise them every
Because
fight.
the fans understand that it took balls and it took a lot to go in. Even in that loss, they may have been overmatched, but they stepped up to the fight. A loss does not define your career in MMA. In boxing, Floyd didn't put that bullshit in here, man, that make you guys feel like, not you, but I'm saying in boxing in general, you take a loss and that's supposed to be the end of your career. It's like nobody wants to see you. I don't think so. I think that's not necessarily the fans. I think it might be the executives of boxing. Because what I'm saying is on Top Rank, and I know you're not with Top Rank, but you know some of them guys over there. Hell, some of them guys in Top Rank were your stable mates at one time. You've had them in your accounts. But over
Yeah,
there, I'm watching them fight guys that got 3 and 4 losses, and they're putting them on prime time at ESPN, bro. And they're not losing fans for doing that. So maybe it's
right.
starting to change a little bit. Maybe it's since Floyd is so close to the PBC situation, maybe it's rubbing off on PBC and PBC only. But I know that Top Rank is fighting guys with losses. Um, it's just not fair to you guys, man, to sit back and fight world class fighters, Olympians. You're fighting multiple champion belt holders, and if you lose to them, people say you washed up or you're not throwing your hands, you're not doing this, and people don't understand. Adrien, let me ask you something, man, and this is something that I need to know. When people say
Hmm.
you're not throwing your hands, usually it's a reason. You can't throw your hands like you threw your hands in the last fight. It's two different opponents. You throw your hands against Madonna against Mikey Garcia. It's just, isn't it a different adjustment? And your pace is different and everything is different, right?
Um, a lot of it, man. Every fight is totally different. You can't go in there and fight a Pacquiao the way I fought McDonough. You can't go in there and fight Garcia the way I fought Pacquiao. Like it's two different opponents, two different styles. You got to make adjustments, and every fight is just
Right.
different.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand that. They expect to see the same person, being you, in every fight, and you can't do that. Because number one, the guys watching film on you, they think that's what's coming. It's just a lot of secrets. I don't want to talk about all that, man, but I just want to talk about how soon you think you might be back in the ring. Any talks?
Uh, if 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 everything open back up and they open the arenas back up, I might fight in December. If not, I ain't fighting to 2021 because I'd be damned if I fight with nobody
So
in the
that's your
stands. I
stance. You're
can't.
not gonna fight with no crowd.
I can't because they gotta pay me. They wouldn't be able to make the
They need
money.
the
They
live
wouldn't be able
gate.
to make
They
money.
need the live gate to make the payroll.
Yeah.
I understand. So what if somebody like what if a big multimedia company comes in? What if ESPN is willing to put up the money and you fight a top ranked fighter and they're willing to do a split, something of that nature? Would you entertain that on the platform that they have, no crowd?
At this point, if my money right, we gonna have a hell of a fight.
Okay.
It, but like I said though, this second half of my career, it's gonna be everything that I want to do and the way I want to do it. So if anybody come my way, they got to go with the AB show and not they way or this way. It's gonna be all my way, and I got all the
Straight
say
A
so.
side. That's it.
So that's where I'm at
A shot.
for
That no,
sure,
that makes sense. You
for
put the
sure.
work in. You put the work in, little bro. I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat everything. There's been some flaws in everybody. Everybody has had situations, but at this point, man, you
Hmm.
fought some of the best that people will consider has been the best and still being the best. Mikey Garcia has a bright future. He's still young. It's a
Hmm.
possibility that maybe you guys will see each other again late.
Mikey's my
Y'all
boy too.
cool? The guy, I know
Yeah,
you cool
that's
with
my
all the
boy.
Garcias. When you out in California, I know y'all tend to, hang out a little bit and see each other. I know that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a friendly war that y'all have. I know his brother that trains him tends to talk a lot of shit when it come to y'all too. Y'all joke on each other a lot. But it's
Hmm.
kind of hard to fight people that you know. And a lot of people was asking you, would you had ever fought Earl Spence? And you shut that right down. You was fighting 140, high 140s at that time, but you and Earl Spence are real
Hmm.
cool. So that would never happen, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, that's man. That's damn near
Yeah,
blood.
yeah.
Yeah.